So now it is my pleasure to let you know who we're going to present tonight. And tonight we have the original American folk and blues singer-songwriter duo, Songs of the Folk, A.T. and Lauren Carson. Both natives of different parts of the Carolinas, the couple met in college while obtaining their master's degrees in music. In 2015, the two formed the band Swamp Rabbit Railroad, playing numerous shows across the Southeast. Then, in mid-2019, the duo took on the name Songs of the Folk, combining high-level musical training with a natural sense of American root music. A.T. and Lauren channel the spirit of American folk and blues with storytelling that's both timeless and deeply personal. Their sound blends Simon and Garfunkel-style harmonies with early Dylan lyricism, Leonard Cohen's introspection, and the authentic fingerstyle blues of North Carolina's Piedmont tradition. The couple has released numerous singles, an EP titled Songs of the Folk, and two full-length albums, the latest entitled In the Old Kingdom, which was recorded in a centuries-old converted barn in Malden, Essex, and the First Church of England parish chapel, St. Michael's, in Woodham, Walter, built in the 1500s. They lived in England for a couple of years and they were able to do that. I think that's really kind of cool. They have well-crafted lyrics and intricate instrumentation come together to create songs that feel like chapters in a book. Vivid, unfolding narratives you're eager to hear next. Together they craft music that resonates long after the last note fades. And we're really happy to have them travel down here to play for us tonight. And I'm going to invite you now to turn off your phones, turn on your ears, and I'm turning the stage over to the musicians. Enjoy your evening.
Well, Lauren and I spent the last couple of years living in England, and when we moved back home, this was the first song that I wrote, and we recorded an album while we were over in England. This one's not on it. Yeah, this one just kind of came out when we got back to the States. Start with it.
We're headed out for them country acres, how they long to make us smile. Lady Luck will be sure to take her there to live for a while. Breathe the air for a while. Tap the drum and shake a shaker. Ring the bell all through the land. Sing a tune, sing along as we can. So we're headed out for them country acres, how they long to make us smile. Lady Luck will be sure to take her there to live for a while. Breathe the air for a while. Strum a chord, sound a whistle, blow the harp all through the land. Sing a tune, sing it loud as we can. We're headed out for them country acres, how they long to make us smile. Lady Luck will be sure to take her there to live for a while. Breathe the air for a while. Golden sun, not a cloud above us. It's free and clear all through the land. Hear a tune, drifting in the wind. We're headed out for them country acres, how they long to make us smile. Lady Luck will be sure to acre, there live for a while. Breathe the air for a while. Breathe the air for a while. Breathe the air.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, very happy to be here in Fort Myers or North Fort Myers or wherever we are. Yeah, thank you all for having us, and thank you ACMA for what you do. I love that your slogan is all about original music, because that's what we're all about. And also, my sort of personal barometer for a good venue, and we've played a lot of different places, but my personal barometer is whether or not there's a cup or a bottle of water on the stage. And check. Well done. Maybe that's just what you do in Florida in June.
I'll give you full disclosure. So I book our gigs. I always say I write the emails and he writes the songs. But, you know, we live in Western North Carolina. I was like, oh, let's go to Florida in June. That'll be great. I had no idea. Everyone in Florida leaves and comes where we are. So thank y'all for being here. We're going to come back in January.
Well, yeah, that's a good segue. Lauren and I, we just, like 2 weeks ago, sold our little North Carolina house that we had bought about 10 years ago. And sort of bittersweet, but, you know, it was just time to move on. But we bought this house in October of 2016. And we moved in, and it was, you know, it was Florida in January. It was like perfect weather. And, you know, we didn't need any, well, there wasn't any AC, but we didn't need heat or cool, you know, anything. It was just fine, you know, it opened the windows kind of thing. But then November rolled around, and then December rolled around, and yeah, it started to get a little cold. And we quickly realized, I went to turn on, the house had these old baseboard heaters, and they didn't work. So how in the world we got an FHA loan to buy this house, I have no idea. But yeah, there was an old sort of like gas log fireplace. Long story short, we ended up putting a wood stove in, and that's how we heated the house. But before I did that, I had a chimney sweep come out. Cue the music. And you know, to look at the fireplace and make sure it was okay, look at the chimney and everything. And so this guy shows up, and he's about my age. But he truly seemed like a character out of a book or something, this guy. He's like from a bygone era. The guy literally had a handlebar mustache. He was just playing the part really well. And talked to him for a little bit, and immediately he just struck me. He was as a very intellectual person. He was very heady. Oh, you know, he said, oh, you're a musician. Oh, yes, my favorite composers are Shostakovich and Stravinsky. And I said, well, my favorite composers are Woody Guthrie and Bob Dylan. So we hit it off, and he had a recipe for, he made homemade mead, like, and gave me his, I never made it, but he was just a character. I mean, that was it, you know. And I said, man, how did you become a chimney sweep? And he said, well, here's the thing. I used to be a minister. Yeah. And he said, my grandfather was a minister, and my father was a minister, and I just sort of fell into, you know, that line of work, whatever he said. He said, I just realized it wasn't for me. And he left that day, and this never happens to me. I usually have to work on a song for days or weeks or months or years, you know. And that day he left and I was there at the house by myself, and I just picked up my guitar and I started playing these chords, and I wrote them down. I sang the tune and wrote the words down. It was all done in about 5 minutes. I think it's the only song that's ever, I wish they were all that easy. But there was just something about this guy and his story and his background that just struck me, and I thought he deserved a song. But really, I think he kind of like left me this song in a way, you know? And either way, I didn't get his permission to put his whole life story in a song. So I changed his name. He's going to hear this, and, you know, it's going to be playing in Walmart one day. Hey, that sounds familiar. But I changed his name to something I thought sounded a little more like a chimney sweep. I named him Aloysius Beam.
In the room upstairs, you search to find the book to bind. You've forgotten all the words, but it will remind the truth unkind. When the boy was born, he was a privileged one, a man-made son. He loved the word of God, but never had no fun. The man-made son. The man-made sun went out after dark, spread the word of the Lord. The father took the boy, made him ash his face, and learn his place. Well, it's time to be a man, he says to him. Well, son, we all have sinned. And lie, die, die. He looks to the left and the right with all his might. Well, let's train the gun and fire upon your target now with a sweaty brow. But the boy stood up, he denied to defy what was right in his mind. Aloysius Beam is my given name, and I proclaim I quit the work of God, and I'm a chimney sweep. And I drink my mead. The chimney sweep, he keeps the truth of the gospel in his heart. And I die, die.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, being an Americana folky club, I'm sure y'all have heard a train song or two. I don't know what obsession we all have with train songs, but it's like a great thing to write and sing about. And we used to do Freight Train by Liva Cotton, and then A.T., my personal songwriter, wrote me my own train song to sing. And do y'all like to sing? Do y'all sing along? I mean, it's got an easy refrain. I get a little fancy on it, but you can sing. You just do you.
You just get fancy right along with it.
But yeah, feel free to sing along with anything at any time. But this is called Locomotive.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hear that locomotive sing. It will bring me what I need. I will see the light and be baptized in the ash and fire. Oh, hear that locomotive sing. that whistle in the wind. How it calls me like a friend. I will stow away and find a brand new day. Oh, hear that locomotive sing, and see that steel shine bright as coal. It will lead me to my home, and I will catch a ride and make my way to the other side. Oh, hear that locomotive sing, and can you feel the churning of those wheels? They will show me what is real, and I will feel alive when I ride that track through the open night. Oh, hear that locomotive steam, and can you feel the shaking in those walls? Now I know it won't be long till I will have my say and take it to the permanent way. Oh, hear that locomotive sing. Sing it. And hold that grab iron handle loose, and find another train to cruise. I will catch it on the fly and take it to that sweet by and by. Oh, hear that locomotive sing. Hear that locomotive sing. It will bring you what you need. You will see the light and be baptized in the ashen fire. Oh, hear that locomotive
All right, sing it for you.
Thank you.
That was a nice sort of like breathy, vibey rendition y'all were working there. Nice. Well,
I'm sure you also never get any songs about feelings in this folky club.
well, you're getting one now. Thank you, Dennis, for your songs.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful. Yeah. Very good. Thank you very much. It's out of tune, but this is a folk club, so that works. Yeah, I come from a family of storytellers, and that's helped me a lot as a songwriter. So when I started really songwriting seriously, kind of what came out were stories and characters. I'd put all my thoughts and feelings and troubles into other people, kind of thing. Other settings. But this one is a bit more on the nose. It's a little more personal, so we're gonna get real here for a second, y'all. But so I don't write many songs from, I guess, like the first person perspective, but this is one of them. And just to be honest with you, Lauren and I were living in Athens, Georgia about 10 years ago. This is right before we moved up to North Carolina. And it was a hard time for us down there. It was just not a good time for me, for us, and we made it through this time in our lives. And this song was what sort of came out of the other end of that. And so it's really a song. It's more about the light at the end of the tunnel than anything. It's a hopeful song. This isn't a sad song. And I hope that you can relate with that aspect of it. We all know, the world's a tough place sometimes, and we all know what troubles and hard times feel like in one way, shape, form, or another. And but this is really about making it through, I suppose. And it's called "It's a Feeling I Get."
It's a feeling I get deep in my chest. After all of my strength is turned into weeks of work. It's a feeling I get like I can't catch my breath, though I'm breathing so damn hard that it hurts. And I pace in this prison in a cell of precision. My file reads a fraud and a fake. It's a feeling I get deep in my chest. But your love finds a way to me. It's a thought that I get deep in my head. After all of my wonder turns to worried words. It's a thought that I get like I don't know what's ahead, though I'm looking so damn hard that it hurts. And my mind spins around just like a wheel on the ground, while my foot frozen still on the brake. It's a thought that I get deep in my head, but your love finds a way to me. It's a feeling I get deep in my chest. I felt it from the moment I let you first. It's a feeling I get like I can't catch my breath, though I'm breathing so hard that it hurts. But I'm freed from this prison by a narrow decision. My file reads the debt has been paid. It's a feeling I get deep in my chest when your love finds a way to me.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Oh, we
very
don't
much.
normally get outward compliments in the middle of a set either.
Keep them coming. No, thank you all
No
so much.
heckles.
Well, we'll follow that one up with a bit of Carolina mountain music. I really like the Piedmont blues, and this is a bit of a happier song. It's called Thank the Lord, I'm Finally Free.
You can take it any way you want. Make it a breakup song. Make it a self-proclamation. You just, yeah.
Whatever it means to you.
Had no words, nothing to say, just to shuffle along from day to day. I was dead, even though I was breathing, but you got my heart a beating. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free. Had no moves, no kind of dance, just a standing around, my life was in a trance. I was dead, even though I was moving, but you got my heart a grooving. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free. Had no tune, no kind of song, just a mumbling on all day long. I was dead, even though I was humming, but you got my heart a crooning. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free. I was walking the streets, nowhere to go, in the middle of the night, and it was cold. I saw a light coming from a cafe. I went in and found a seat. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free. Thank the Lord, now I'm finally free.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know, you make some real faces when you play the harmonica. It's very entertaining.
It's just, you got to get it out somehow. Yeah.
Sorry. So as AT was saying, we just sold our house. So May 2023, we packed up that little house, put it all in a U-box, and shipped our belongings to England, and lived there, found a life there for a couple years. And then May 2025, we packed up our stuff, put it on a U-box, sent it back to America. And May now, we just really packed up our house and sold it. And when we get back to North Carolina on Wednesday, we're moving into a new house. So we're real movers. And maybe that's you. Maybe you've moved a lot. That's me. I've moved a lot in my life. And I think it's the nature of being a musician. You go where the work is, and you go all over the place, and you drive 7 hours and go play for people, and, you know, find yourself at home wherever you are. And I don't know. I like being that way. I can't sit still for long. So AT wrote this appropriately just before we left England. I think just thinking about moving again and all the travels we had over there. And it's a great travel song. And it's also got a really good sing-along at the end.
And we know y'all can sing, so.
Somebody was from Ohio. Who was that?
Oh,
yes.
All right. Well, the words, they're not even words. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of sing-alongs.
So he wrote one for all of you.
unless it's a Pete Seeger song. But yeah, it's very simple. It's not even words. It's just hi-I-O. And we
or Ohio.
Or Ohio. We did a couple weeks ago, and this lady was like, thought she was from Ohio, and she was singing Ohio. So if y'all two in the back want to sing Ohio, the rest of us will sing hi-I-O. But yeah, it's real simple, and it goes like this.
Hi-I-O, hi-I-O, hi-I-O.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Or Ohio. Either way, y'all give it a try. Let's try it together. 2, 3, 4.
Hi-I-O, hi-I-O, hi-I-O.
Nice. One more time.
Hi-I-O, hi-I-O, Ohio.
All right, y'all got it. Yeah, nice. We get the whole song just to chill out, and then it's just at the very end, just a little bit at the end, and you'll feel the moment when the time comes. You'll know. Yeah, I come from all my family. They all stayed in the same place, and so I'm kind of the black sheep of my family. But you know, sometimes you wander in your mind too. You know, either way, you moved a lot, physically or just mentally. Yeah, maybe you can relate with this one. It's called Wandering On.
Today is free, tomorrow's golden. In the past we lay our burden down. Forget the time, for time upholding. We will win the final round. You and I, we drive through the night, and we hold out the light, so another place can shine when the day is gone. We're wandering on. And some folks live by staying put. Ain't it easy when you know how? But the vagabonds, the folks like us, just gotta cut another route. You and I, we ride with the few, on a road that's always new, under a sky that's always true, wherever we go. We're wandering on.
ancient song. You and I, we roll fast and free, with our hands in the breeze, while our hearts shout and sing, and our toes tap the beat to a radio song. Hi-I-O, 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 hi-I-O,
Very nice.
I even heard some harmonies out there.
This is a real folk club.
That's a whole thing. There's a whole circuit in England. They're folk clubs, and it's basically this, but in a pub. And it's wonderful.
Yeah, and there's no air conditioning. It's awesome. Well, yeah, like I said earlier, I come from a family of storytellers. I was like an accident baby. So all my family are older, you know, and but I feel like I'm lucky because I grew up with really good music of my parents' generation and also storytelling. My dad was a storyteller. My grandma, my uncle were all storytellers, and certainly influenced my songwriting. My dad had a lot of different characters, but my favorite one of his my favorite character of his stories was a guy by the name of Joe Bandy. And Joe Bandy was basically my dad grew up in a mill village in upstate South Carolina, and all of Joe Bandy's adventures took place in the mill village and on the train tracks and things like that. So it was basically my dad's childhood. But his sidekick, Joe Bandy's sidekick, was a guy named T-Bone, and my dad always called me T-Bone when I was a kid. And now he doesn't even call me AT anymore. It's just T. But I don't know what's up with all that. But of course, that was my favorite. And I wanted to write a song for Dad, and about Joe Bandy. And so I worked on it, and it was like harder to get this one done. And I finally got something together that I liked, put it together, and present it to him. I said, Dad, I wrote a song about Joe Bandy. I want to play it for you. He said, well, that's great, son, but who is that? I said, it's Joe Bandy, the story, the mill village, And he said, oh, yeah, of course. He said, well, you got his name wrong, son. I said, well, what was his name? He said, well, the guy had two names in one. It was Job Andy. And yeah, I'm not rewriting the song, Dad. It is what it is.
Joe Bandy just sounds cooler.
Yeah, of course. It's like Stackley. It's
Joe Bandy.
Yeah, Joe Bandy. So I made up my own story about Mr. Joe Bandy, and he's a folk singer, of course. He sings on the streets and sings political, topical folk songs and gets the folks all riled up, about all the idiots in charge. Yeah, this is his story.
Mr. Joe Bandy sings just a scuffle of dime. From dawn to dusk he does what he must to feed a family of 9. A mighty moving he'll bring when Mr. Joe Bandy begins to sing. Mr. Joe Bandy knows that the head of the town is a vicious man who does what he can to bring the people down. So dressed in dregs, Joe Bandy begs for the people to hear. He sings and he shouts and he rouses a crowd. They all tip him and cheer. We're gonna take that devil down. We're gonna take that devil down. We're gonna take that devil. We're gonna take that devil down. The more he shouts, the more turnout, and the more money he makes. Mr. Joe Bandy Crow's leading a parade. Then they hunted down the head of the town. They're gonna make him pay. But Bandy snuck around the block and he hid away. We're gonna raise that banner high. We're gonna raise that banner high. We're gonna take that devil down. We're gonna take that devil down. Yeah. Interesting here. Well, Joe Bandy had lied. He didn't have 9. He didn't have 1 kid. Now he wore a Gorin lid up on his head. Held a dame in his hand. But the people fixed on Bandy's tricks. He's gonna pay for his sin. But the bandit lit out for another town to do it over again. We're gonna bring that bandit back. We're gonna bring that bandit back. We're gonna take that devil down. We're gonna take that devil down. Mr. Joe Bandy sings just a scuffle of dime. From dawn to dusk he does what he must to feed a family of 9.
Y'all give it up for AT here.
Thank you all.
Oh.
Y'all didn't know that's where the word bandit originally came from. It's from Joe Bandy. Well, this is a song that came out of living in England. It was one day we lived basically on an old farm. Lady rented out she had converted her barn. Lived in Essex County. It was a train ride outside of London, the eastern side, and but we were out in the countryside and one day our landlady, so we rented her converted barn, and she lived in the farmhouse there. And one day she was taking off and she said, "AT, I'm headed off to the Panto." I said, "Okay, what is that?"
Have any of you ever been to England?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you heard?
Are any of you English? Okay.
Okay, we can tell this. No, it's certainly not offensive at all. It's a celebration of this tradition in England called the pantomime. And I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but when I thought of a pantomime, I would think of the guy doing this sort of thing, the clown guy. But the pantomime or the panto in England is a whole show. It's almost like it's like they do it at Christmas for some reason, and they take like a nursery rhyme like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and mix it with Rocky Horror Picture Show. So it's like this whole raunchy, but it's a family thing at the same time. It's bizarre. And they throw things on the stage, the audience yells, and they have all these chants and yells and stuff, and so it's just a whole fun tradition that they do.
Yeah, and the English at the Panto they let themselves go.
Yeah.
They really live it up.
So we went to one, and it was fascinating and lasted forever and ever and ever. And but afterwards, of course, I wanted to write something about it, write a song. And I realized real quick I wasn't really qualified to write about this English pantomime show with harlequin clowns and all these, traditional things. So I shifted gears a little bit, just to put it more in my ballpark. And I thought, well, what if there was a pantomime show that took place in New Orleans? That just seemed to make sense to me. So I came up with a little something called the Louisiana Pantomime.
I think this song was made to be played in the heat.
Yes.
And it does have a little refrain you can sing. So feel free to join in and live it up,
Yeah.
Where you at, my honey? Are you feeling low? I know the perfect place where we can go.
Yeah, where's that?
The Louisiana Pantomime. Ain't no words or talking, just a nod and a grin. If you look strange enough, they'll let you in at the Louisiana Pantomime. In New Orleans, it gets hot when the Fado Dog is going. We'll dance till we drop. We're gonna pass a good time and leave it all behind at the Louisiana Pantomime. They play the Cajun rhythm, play the Delta blues. They play jazz all night in blue suede shoes at the Louisiana Pantomime. Everybody's wearing the fashion from their head to their feet. While the flappers swirl their feathers, the boys keep the beat. The Louisiana Pantomime. In New Orleans, it gets hot when the Fado Dog is going. We'll dance till we drop. We're gonna pass a good time and leave it all behind at the Louisiana Pantomime. They play Ragtime McBride, play the Piedmont Blues. They play Zydeco in alligator boots at the Louisiana Pantomime. They got harlequins and lampoon shows. Everything is improvised, it'll go where it goes. The Louisiana Pantomime. In New Orleans, it gets hot when the Fado Dog gets it going. We'll dance till we drop. We're gonna pass a good time and leave it all behind at the Louisiana Pantomime. It's all laissez-faire, no need to think. Just grab some Creole gumbo and a cold hard drink at the Louisiana Pantomime. Yeah. So where you at, my honey? Are you feeling low?
I know more.
I know the perfect place where we can go. The Louisiana Pantomime. In New Orleans, it gets hot when the Fado Dog gets it going. We'll dance till we drop. We're gonna pass a good time and leave it all behind at the Louisiana Pantomime. Thank you. Oh, well, it's nice to be playing music for y'all tonight. We love to travel and meet new people, see new places. It's funny. We've been like up in North Carolina solid for the last year, and forgot how different it is when you go to Florida. All the palm trees, it's really pretty.
Definitely good different.
Yes.
It's another song that I wrote in England and wrote it very quickly after we moved over there, really. Lauren and I got over there. We stayed in an Airbnb for a couple weeks and then found this nice little converted barn. And, is sort of already feeling homesick and like, what are we doing? This is crazy. And it's more different than we thought, it would be. And, missing family and friends and that kind of thing. And there's only only one window on the back of that little barn. And I just remember the first day we moved in, I pulled the blinds up and I looked out, and it was surrounded by a wheat field. And just saw sort of like a sea of wheat, blowing in the wind, and a hedgerow in the distance, and the typical English chimney pots, and it was just sort of a sight that I had never. It was almost like seeing the ocean for the first time or something. It's just like a whole sight, and just honestly gave me a feeling of peace, and at the same time I had a flashback. It's a long story. I apologize. The song is shorter, but the flashback was back in Athens, Georgia. Like I mentioned earlier, not the easiest time in our lives, and to find a little bit of peace, Lauren and I would go on these walks, and we'd walk through an old Civil War cemetery, and we'd hit the train tracks, and we'd just walk, and there'd be like a wall of pine trees on either side. And, we drove down through here and saw sort of the same thing in Florida, train tracks. And that's just how we escaped or got away. It was just like we go on these walks and feel a little bit better about things. And, of course, it makes sense in that moment in England, looking out on this field, that sort of randomly came back. But anyway, I tried to put all that stuff into a song. And this is it. This is called Before the Dawn.
Down the road the dusk will settle as time tightens up the slack. There's a lonesome whistle blowing, but there ain't nothing on the track. We're standing at the crossroads with the past upon our backs. It's just me and you. You were just a traveler in the wide, free-willing world. You grew up off the highway, a queen among the girls. But you grew up kinda different and as lonesome as a pearl. So you learned to sing the blues. What we have is gone before. What we leave behind. You are mine and I am yours. And there's a town back down the line. Maybe we can make it there in time before the dawn. Well, I come from the country, from the tired and trying land. I grew up in the valley with the stars between my hands. But I grew up in the sameness, just like another grain of sand. So I learned to play the blues. What we have is gone before. What we leave behind. You are mine and I am yours. There's a town back down the line. Maybe we can make it there in time before the dawn. the sinking sun, we loosen up our packs. There's a distant whistle blowing, there's smoke upon the tracks. And we're standing at the churchyard, the headstones to our backs. We can go anywhere we choose. What we have is gone before. What we leave behind. You are mine and I am yours. There's a town back down the line. What we have is gone before. What we leave behind. You are mine and I am yours. There's a town back down the line. Maybe we can make it there in time before the dawn.
Thank you. We'll do a couple more for you tonight. I don't know. There's plenty of people, and it's true, that we've heard say the world is just terrible. And it can be. But man, it can also be beautiful and wonderful and loving and kind and a great place. And yeah, I think this is evidence of that. We've seen a lot of evidence of that. I mean, traveling and playing music isn't always fun and easy, but you do get to see a lot of really cool people and places, and I think you see a lot of reasons to still hope that there's good out here. So, yeah, AT wrote this song, and we've played for so many different types of people. We've played for rich people, poor people. We've played for convicts in prison. We've played for homeless people, children, aging adults. We've played for just about everybody. But, I think we can all find a reason to sing and sing together in the midst of all of it.
Yeah. There's still a lot of good. That's what this song is about. It's called Gather Around, We Got a Reason to Sing.
Gather round from the fields of old, you laborers working your fingers to the bones. The time has come for the harvesting. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Gather round, all you folks at home. Leave the keys in the car, leave your wallet, leave your phone. Leave all you own, you won't need a thing. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Gather round now, you little friends, who color the world with eyes of innocence. For greatest will be the least of these. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Gather round, all you holy ones, and all the frightened eyes living in the shadows and the slums. Your light will shine like a diamond ring. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Jerusalem, where the clouds can't cover the shine of the rising sun, where the sky is clear, where the air is clean. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Gather round from the boulevard. Anybody with a bruise, any soul with a scar. Behind the broken highway lies a silver spring. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Gather round, people, have no fear. When death is dead, we will dance and we will cheer. Where is your sword, man? Now where is your sting? Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Gather round at the sacred land. Grab anything you want and join the band. We'll play it loud when we crown the king. Gather round, we got a reason to sing. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
If you want to keep listening after tonight, we've got CDs, we got music online, we're on Spotify and YouTube. It's my favorite thing to say in an English accent. And Spotify, it's how they said it in Essex. And, and we have a mailing list. We send a mailer out every few weeks and maybe give some background of a song, or AT will send a poem. He's actually a published poet, so if you want to really know the inner workings of his brain, you can get his book of poetry. We got t-shirts, but we'd love for you to keep in touch. It helps us a lot. It helps with our future bookings, but our favorite thing is playing real music for real people in real places. So thank you so much for letting us do that here tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. This song is really where it all started for us. Sort of back down to Athens, Georgia. Back in 2015 to 16, I was actually going to school at a university there, and I was going to UGA, and I was going to get a PhD actually. Going to in musicology. I was going to be a musical brain surgeon or something, but I dropped out. Wanted to be a folk singer instead. Just sort of, it was one of those moments, I don't know if you can relate with this, but it was just sort of hit rock bottom to realize, what do we really want to do with our lives? And I told Lauren I just want to write songs and play them for people, and so she said, all right, let's do it. And we started that 10 years ago. And, but of course, one of the things that helped both of us through a tough patch was music. And in particular for me, Bob Dylan's first album. And I'm sure y'all are familiar with that album. It's mostly traditional tunes, Gospel Plow and House of the Rising Sun, Man of Constant Sorrow, just really good arrangements and songs. But there's one song they sort of wrote on that album, and it's Song to Woody, of course, and it's his tip of the cap to Woody Guthrie. And he wrote the words, but he took the tune from one of Woody Guthrie's songs. And as it turns out, Woody Guthrie had not written this melody either. For his song, he took the melody from the Carter family. See, I didn't need a PhD for all this research. And my favorite part is that somebody asked A.P. Carter where he got this tune from, this melody. Did he write it or who wrote it? And his response was, I just found it somewhere. And that's a folk song definition right there. But it also made me feel like, well, since it's been borrowed and stolen 3 or 4 times at least, then I'll steal it too. And so I tweaked it and tweaked the music a bit. And,
We haven't been sued yet.
No, I'll be totally happy if Bob Dylan sues me. It's fine.
We'll see you in court, Bob.
That's how we make it. Yeah. But I put my own words to it, and I call it Song to Bob. I remember Lauren and I were living in a barn right outside of Athens, and this was not a cool, trendy barn in the countryside of England. This was a barn in Georgia, and it's a weird time. It did have a toilet inside, so that was good. But it wasn't that bad. But I remember had plywood floors and sitting there and writing these words. And to be totally honest with you, it was like a journal entry. And I'm sure for y'all who create and maybe artists or musicians, you understand that. A lot of it is sort of self-help or whatever. But it really was sort of a journal entry for me. I never intended to play this song for people. And in fact, Lauren and I started gigging in Athens and Decatur and Madison, and then moved up to the Carolinas, and we played for 5 or 6 years, gigging, and it wasn't until, like 6 years later, Lauren one day just said, "I really like that song, and we need to start playing it and play it every time we sing."
And he listened to me.
Yeah. And glad we do. And so, yeah, it's called Song to Bob, but it's our song to you right now.
I'm down here 100 miles from my home, treading a path no other man has walked down. I know there's a song, but can't get it out of my head. I hear professors, politicians, and pursers instead. Well, hey, Bob Dylan, I wrote you a song about a weary old world that's dragging along. It's still sick, it's still hungry, tired and torn. Only difference is now no one cares anymore. Well, hey, Bob Dylan, man, I want you to hear that my generation won't give in to fear. You sang it to Woody, now I'm singing it to you. 'Cause I don't wanna say I've been hitting that hard traveling too. So here's to Joni and Dave and Odetta as well, and to all the good people who made heaven from hell. And here's to the words in the songs of the folk that come like a fire and linger like the smoke. I'm not sure when I'll leave, but it could be today. I know that I'll get out of here and some way. I don't know of the how or the where or the when, but I do know that the times they are changing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for hosting us here. Thank you.